Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special holiday edition episode of Escreal Let's Play Minecraft Season 2, Episode 2! Happy St. Paddy's Day! Woo! As you can see, I am dressed for the occasion. Thank you very much. And today I have what I think will be a pretty amusing build that's in the spirit of the holiday, and I kind of can't wait to get going on this. This is an idea I had a few days ago. It really excited me, so I'm super excited to build it. So that's the plan for today. We're going to build basically in that direction behind me because all around we have other builds, and I think that that might be a reasonable place to do it. So what we're going to probably end up doing in this episode is a bunch of jump cuts to show progress and maybe a time lapse if there's anything that makes sense to do so, but by the end the payout should be pretty excellent. I think that this, if it comes out as well as I'm envisioning, this is going to be a wonderful, amazing, awesome, super fun episode. So thanks for watching, and let's get started. Yay! Now, one thing about this build that may cause a little bit of trouble is that technically it only exists in my mind. I haven't tested this out in my redstone testing world. I haven't built this before. I haven't built most of the components that I'm going to use in this build before. In fact, there's a lot of new things that could go wrong, and so I don't even know basically how much space I'm going to need. I don't know some of the mechanics, but that's not going to stop us. It just might mean that we will rebuild the same thing 3 or 4, 7, 400 times. What we have so far is just some basic materials to kind of get us started and basically get us out into the sea somewhere. So I have a rough idea of how big I think this is going to be. So what we'll do is we will just drop down some stones to get us going, some cobblestones, and I'm gonna make my way probably about 15 blocks or so that away and start sketching out an area. There's going to be a lot of underwater builds in this build. It's going to be both underwater and above water. Above sea level and below sea level. So unlike the sorting room where I build everything above, I'm going to add the extra challenge for this one because I think that it will help with the overall aesthetics. So yeah, this this may be a build that is a lot more complicated than I think it's going to be. We'll see. I will almost definitely, not even almost, I know this, I am not going to get this out on St. Paddy's Day, and I apologize, but on the flip side, at least, you know, we're playing on St. Paddy's Day together, so, you know, there's that. It's a little something. Minor little something. But this will probably come out as a reminder of how awesome St. Paddy's Day is. So we'll get this out. I expect tomorrow, if not in the early AM, then in the late PM. But at this point, you're watching this, so it doesn't matter. You actually already figured that out. But let's begin. Yeah, and start going that way. And with a little bit of extra light to help us, let us start moving out into the sea. So here's basically what I'm expecting to do. We're going to go out about 6 blocks, or 12 blocks, I believe I said. So once we get to about 12 blocks, this will represent roughly the middle or so of where I intend to build. Let's see where that places us. Yeah, a couple more. So this is going to be a medium-high build. I'm intentionally trying not to have it be taller than this guy, which is 16 blocks. So it should sit roughly, probably in around the 12 block range with the above sea level base. And then we'll probably go, I'm doing rough math in my head. Isn't this the most exciting part of a YouTube video? When the host is doing math in their head. All right, so if I have it about 12 high, I'm probably going to need around 18 blocks base, so around 9 on each side. So let's go ahead and do it roughly that. So 1, 2. Well, the rain and the dark doesn't necessarily help to make this easier for you to see, but I want to give you a view of kind of what I had mapped out. So as originally planned, I did map out a square, and then looking at it, I felt that it wasn't big enough. Ooh, in fact, you know what might help us do a little tour? If we use our Frostwalker boots. All right, so assuming the lag doesn't kill us. So what I'm thinking is that I'll keep it this width, but I did one extra third long. So we'll have, that is 17 wide by like 26 deep, something like that, which should be more than enough for me to do what I want to do. Now that I have a border sketched out, I have another challenge that I need to do. So remember how I said I'm using technology that I've never used before? Well, one of the things that I've never used before in Minecraft, and I'm kind of excited to try, is a chest. No, is a music box or note block. See, I don't even know what it's called. So the note block is what I would like to try. So the note block works. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, we'll come over here to play with it. When you put it down and you click on it, well, everyone, let me tell you that a lot of stuff happened since the last cut in this video. Namely, I learned a tragically video-stopping fact about how I was recording, which was that you guys couldn't hear the sounds in-game. And specifically, you couldn't hear the note blocks, the whole sort of surprise awesome thing about this particular build. And if you couldn't hear the note blocks, then like there was kind of no point in you actually sort of participating in this. And luckily I noticed it before I completed the entire build, because otherwise you just would have had a like very sad post-build walkthrough, I guess. So I did end up stopping my video and trying to fix it and doing a lot of searching online to fix it, and I finally did end up getting a solution. And in fact, I'm going to put the links to the solution in the description below in case anyone else has this problem where they're trying to record a game that they're streaming or just playing, and they want to have both a mic and in-game audio, and they're not having it for some reason. Well, I'll put the links down below as to what I did in order to solve that. This is a new thing because I'm pretty sure that this wasn't a problem in my earlier videos, and it may be that I changed some hardware up and that caused some confusion in my recording. I don't know. I truly do not know exactly what the problem is, but it's solved, so yay! We're back. Phew. Wow, that was unfortunate. Now, the only sad thing is that although this was intended to be released on or really close to St. Paddy's Day, because of that delay, this is going to be a few days late. So, on the one hand, it's sad, a tragic thing happened, but on the other hand, in kind of the spirit of, Irish heritage, the Irish do tend to have, unfortunately, a lot of tragic things happen to them, but they look on the bright side of things, and they celebrate that the sun will come out, that things will be better, that there will always be something to look forward to and to celebrate. And so, we don't mourn for the loss of the timing of this video. We celebrate that we got back to being able to do this recording, and we'll have a tribute to the holiday. And if this server's around next year, we can come back and enjoy it and maybe build on top of it. So, with that, we're going to get back to what we were working on, which is our St. Paddy's Day 2016 build. Yay! Now, the exciting thing that I had intended on showing at the end of the last episode, which didn't work before, but will work now, is note blocks. So this is the special secret ingredient that's coming into our build. Our note blocks, which I am not currently picking up on audio. Possibly because I did that. Yeah, there we go. So the way that note blocks work is every time that you right-click on it, you move the sound up a half a step in the sort of traditional piano European scale. So each half step up, with a right-click, left-clicking just plays the note that you set it on, and you can power this with redstone. Now, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned with the amount of sound that we're getting from the water, but maybe it'll be okay. Oh, wait. All right. Phew. So the reason why we're hearing all that water is because we're right next to the pumpkin farm. And in the pumpkin farm, we have a lot of flowing water, which explains the sound. All right, that's good. I mean, if I sound a little bit frantic on this episode, it's because this is the first build that I've ever done using sound blocks and truly needing to rely on the in-game sound to convey the build. So that's part of the reason why I'm so excited about this. So what we have is now a desire to build some sound blocks, and something that I discovered is that they carry their noise, the music, not necessarily noise, although I could probably turn it into noise. The noise carries pretty far up. I mean, I think I had tested this up to like 20 blocks and I was still hearing it, which is really, really valuable because I wasn't sure how deep I could build my note blocks and have the sound carry, because my intention is that, I mean, ultimately the final build is going to be a few blocks above sea level, but I want all of the music box elements to be below sea level. So I think I'm okay with that, which means that what's left for me to do is, first, admire that this is actually going to start happening, and I'm really happy about that. Second is to clear out the water. Now, my plan is to go down maybe half a dozen or more blocks. It's possibly enough, maybe upwards of 10 blocks because of extra space paranoia. But, so I'll go down, clear out this water, and once that's done, I can actually start the redstone construction. So I'm going to build all of the redstone first, prior to any of the extra special design, because I really don't know how much space I'm going to need. I really didn't want to sketch this out in a redstone world first. I did not want to just simply reproduce it. I wanted to truly try to get this all done on camera and see what it takes to build it. If this is a horrible mistake, next time I do something like this, it will be fully built out previously, so we shall see what comes with that. But I think with that, I'm going to get started in framing out the area, and we'll come back perhaps once I am done with that. Alright, so I've started to enclose the bottom area with half slabs, actually, and I can show you sort of what I'm doing with that, where I just use half slabs, build them in, and half slabs act like full blocks for stopping water, so it will give me the wall protection from water that I was hoping to have. But there's two things that are beneficial about attempting this with half slabs. First is that they do use half as much resources as full blocks, so I figured that that would be resource conscientious, I guess. But the other thing is, I thought that it could be a cool effect to have sort of this see-through wall of water behind you. I don't know, I thought that that could be kind of cool. And then from the outside, you'd see into the redstone music box. So that was the thought. And then after I did a first pass around most of this frame, the other thing is I was planning on using wood slabs because I figured it would go with the theme of the build. I'm trying to do this with a lot of natural looking resources. But after making it through basically like 2 stacks of half slabs, I realized that's going to be very, very resource intensive, and I don't think that I really want to spend that much wood doing this, because wood is harder for me to get a hold of right now than bricks and cobblestone and stone. So I think I'll keep that first level of wood, and if I end up doing anything exposed, maybe I'll do more wood, but for now what I'll use is just regular old-fashioned, often used stone slabs, those guys out there, which I have used often enough. Do a little pointy out there. So I mean, I really didn't want to use more of the kind of stone slabs of some sort, but it seems that it will get me what I want. So it's a compromise. I'm willing to compromise, though I think that this establishes that the next build that I want to do is a tree farm, or some degree of easy tree farming in this little area, so I don't have to go out into the wild to do it. So that's queued up for episode 3 of season 2 of Escreal Let's Play Minecraft. Alright, so I like having plans for future episodes too. So I'm going to go ahead and do our next row of slabs. Get it started, and then we will just go all the way around with that slab pattern. Now the cool thing about the slab pattern, or doing this, is because you have something above you, it's really easy to place these things. I'm just sort of holding up and going backwards, or holding the jump button and going backwards, and just going down the line. So this should end up being a relatively quick process, though I imagine it's not all that interesting to do this loop 8 more times or so on camera. So we'll just go ahead and jump until I've got that done, and we'll be back and get closer to the fun part of this build. Alright, a little status update. What we have is a whole series of layers that is probably deep enough. Each layer takes about 1.25 stacks of half slabs to get around, so yeah, it's kind of resource intensive to build underwater. But what I'm going to do next is actually place in the floor, and then we will theoretically be able to start removing the water. Alright, so just a little bit of an update and a venting session. It is so annoying to place blocks underwater. So I've got the first outside run done. I ended up putting down some torches just because it was so dark I couldn't even see where I was placing blocks, and that was making it very extra difficult. It's already very difficult to do it when you're not, for instance, lined up with your head hitting something. So anyway, we did the first pass. We have effectively 18 more circles, 17 more circles to go, which means I'm going to need a bunch more stone slabs to finish this up. It's 1.5 stacks for each, or 1.25 stacks for each full outside, so each subsequent inner one will be less, but still I'm probably going to need a few stacks. So I will go and get the materials for that and finish filling in the floor, and then we just get rid of the water, and then the good stuff comes. I mean, it'll be worth it. I think that it will be worth it. I know it'll be worth it. I think it'll be really cool, but this is a time-consuming task, and one of the reasons why I think I do tend to build into mountains, or at least on land more often than not, because this is just so much effort to get rid of water. There is a block in Minecraft called a sponge, which does help you to get the water, or remove the water a little bit easier. I think we collectively in this town have like 3 sponges, so not quite enough to make it worthwhile. I have all of the enchantments on that make it easier to do this work, like Depth Strider and Aqua Affinity and Respiration. Without that, this wouldn't even be a worthwhile endeavor. Even though it does kill my ensemble a little bit, I will, suffer through that. As you can see, not quite as St. Paddy's Day themed with the sparkly blue, but it's all right. We're getting there. So we'll come back, hopefully with this floor finished, in just a moment. Oh, come on, we were so close. All right, well, that represents the last stone slab that I can reasonably make with the resources in the base. We are pretty much out of stacks of cobblestone. We're out of stacks of regular stone. We have basically just what's being placeholders in the storage system. But you can see what I ended up doing so far is, we have almost all of the floor. Occasionally I was placing these cobblestone set of streetlights because, I needed to work, and lining up with the half slab is more difficult than lining up with a regular stone block. But what I'll do is just a quick little mining effort, I guess, to restock on supplies of both stone and cobblestone, because there's times when you want, the difference. And then we can finish this up. But you can start to see that's the space that we are going to be playing with, which, now that I look at it, it's probably way bigger than I actually need. But extending an underground base after an underwater base after you've already cleared it out is a lot more complicated, I feel, than sort of doing it all in one go. But this also means that I can possibly do even more silliness with what I was intending to do. So that's not a bad thing, all in all. Anyway, so we are close to getting done with this. Yeah. All right, off to the mine. The mine. Oh, I don't know if you've ever actually seen the mine in this world yet, so let me show you what the mine looks like. First, I'm going to dress for the mine, because that is a good plan to be safe. We'll come back to our St. Paddy's Day garb afterwards. And we have an efficiency, we have a silk touch. We seem to have a spare silk touch. We'll toss you in there. Alright, so, and I'm going to need some convenient. Some torches, most likely. And what we'll do is just a really quick head down to the mine and get some more stone. Stone's the first priority, then cobblestone. We can sort of fill up a little bit, but as you can see, if we look at our stone chest, I mean, it's basically bare. And our 2 cobblestone chests, same thing. They are mostly bare, and we have barely a full stack of cobblestone, apparently in total in this base. So let's stock up. All right, and this is the entranceway to the mine that was put in. So it's just a giant waterfall drop, which works because this server has a plugin that lets you teleport home with just a command of /home, which puts us back to the top. So although I'm personally torn about the teleporting feature. I mean, it's super convenient and it's kind of absurd not to use it, but it does take away some of the incentive, I guess, to get creative, right? Because we can do the water drop, but we don't need to build anything to get back up easily or anything like that. So anyway, I haven't fully decided where my loyalties lie with it, but at least for now, I intend to keep using it. These are the mine shafts that we've been digging through, plus a few other exposed areas, clearly. We're at a level 11, so we're nicely at diamond level for mining. But what I'm going to do is just clear out in a direction, and generally I've been sticking to this side for when I've been going resource gathering. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I'll extend out this way. With my silk touch, I automatically get stone. So we'll just go out that way for a little bit and then build another mineshaft. Nothing too crazy, but I figured I'd show you this because I don't think I've shown this. Of course I haven't shown this on camera. I only had one episode, and I remember what I showed you last episode. So we will continue going down here and finish up our build upstairs. Alright, so that was a pretty successful mining exercise. So I kept a full stack of cobblestone and a couple stacks of stone, but you can see that we also added a bit more cobblestone and a lot more stone. So that restocked it a little bit, plus we got some diamonds in the process and a few other resources. But at least we now have more than enough stone to finish our build, and I love that I did the stripes. I think that's going to look really cool, especially when it's lit up. That might be my new favorite underwater design. We'll see. Anyway, let's let's get back to the fun task of putting down slabs, and I think because there's not that much left, we'll just do it together on camera. This is another time where the various enchantments that I have make it a lot easier to do this, because we can, as long as we're walking, we can walk at normal speed with the enchantments that I have. Depth Strider, and placing blocks at or destroying blocks at a normal above water level, I think is what Aqua Affinity gives you. But all in all, not too bad. The screen is a little weird right now because I keep walking into the air pocket that's given by the torch. But it also means that I don't have to keep swimming all the way up to the very top in order to restock on oxygen. Not that I need it, because of Respiration 3 gives me a lot of time underwater, but there we go. Aw. There we go. So we now have the full floor done up. I think the next steps for me will be kill these lanterns, kill that walkway, and prep for how I'm going to clean out all of this water. Alright, so here's what we did. We ended up placing down dirt as a layer up to basically 2 full stacks of dirt, which lines up with this little piece of sand. So, you know, a third of the way through the whole thing. We're going to drop down sand. Luckily, sand is one thing that I've mined previously in abundance, and this isn't even all of the sand that we have in the build. What we'll end up doing is we'll place the sand, filling up this area, and thanks to the mechanic that we saw earlier, falling sand breaks when it hits these slabs, so it'll be a really easy cleanup effort of getting through this sand, and then we'll just repeat this process 3 more times in order to get through all of this water. So not too bad, one would hope. So we'll just go ahead and start basically laying down a whole lot of sand. And that's going to do it for us for today. I don't know about you, but I love the way that this came out. The half slab seeing through into the water, into the lights beyond. I think that this came out even better than I had hoped, and I can't wait to see what it will look like with redstone and lighting on the inside, viewing it from the outside. But for now, I think this is going to have to do it for us for today. This episode did end up taking a lot more effort than I thought to get to even this point, with technical errors and with just the effort to remove the water, but I did learn an incredibly cool trick with removing water with this build, with the fact that the half slabs at the bottom level, so you can either have top half slabs or bottom. At the bottom, you can place sand on top of them, but if sand falls on them, it breaks. This is probably my new favorite way of clearing out sand, rather than before where I'd put the torch on the bottom and let it fall on top of that. Now, half slab, then let it fall on top of that. So much easier, I think, than doing the combo. Anyway, something new to try. So I'm really happy with the progress. I can't wait to come back. But for now, I think this is going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button down below. And if you're curious what happens next, please click subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!